Discover the intriguing process behind the creation of the indispensable bathroom staple, toilet paper. From the forests to the final packaged rolls, explore how trees are transformed into the soft, practical products we use every day. Join us on a journey through the fascinating world of toilet paper manufacturing and learn about the technologies and innovations that make this essential product possible. Toilet paper is useful for the following reasons. Encourages good personal hygiene. To promote proper personal hygiene, toilet paper is used to clean and remove any residue left on the body after using the restroom. Stops germs from spreading. To stop bacteria and germs from spreading and creating illnesses and infections, toilet paper is crucial. Offers coziness and practicality. People may quickly and easily clean themselves after using the restroom thanks to the comfort and convenience of toilet paper. Toilet paper is necessary in public restrooms to keep them hygienic and clean for numerous users. To sum up, toilet paper is an essential product for maintaining personal hygiene and cleanliness, as well as for everyday comfort and health. Before paper became commonly available, different materials were used. In public restrooms, people used sponges on sticks that were stored in salt water in between usage. The Romans used an L-shaped stick, similar to a hockey stick, made of wood or precious metal. Sand, ground brick, or powdered brick was utilized in dry regions. Muslims were instructed to use 3 stones for cleaning up until the late 19th century. For ages, a favored implement was a mussel shell. Corn cobs were utilized up until the early 20th century. Paper started to displace other conventional materials in the late 15th century once it became generally accessible. Pages from old books, magazines, newspapers and catalogues were occasionally forced into service, as well as old correspondence. Various materials that were used were old paper bags, envelopes, and various scraps of paper that were chopped into pieces and strung on a rope that was stored in the privy. The British Perforated Paper Company invented toilet paper, which is a relatively contemporary product that dates back to roughly 1880. It was marketed in boxes containing individual squares and was made of a coarser paper than its contemporary version. As early as 1890, the American company Scott Paper Company was producing toilet paper rolls under the Waldorf name. The toilet dispensers had teeth with serrated edges to cut the paper as needed, and the earliest rolls weren't perforated. For a long while, it was almost an unmentionable commodity, and buyers would frequently feel awkward asking for it by name, or even if they were seen purchasing it. Subdued customers merely requested 2, please, and the clerk likely understood their needs. Toilet paper was packed and sold in brown paper wrappers for discretion. Toilet paper is still perforated and can be perfumed, embossed or coloured, but it hasn't altered much in the 120 years since it was first introduced. Manufacturers of toilet paper have recently expanded the amount of sheets on a roll, enabling customers to change the roll less frequently. Typically, a blend of softwood and hardwood trees is used to create virgin or new toilet paper. Paper is strengthened by the long fibers of softwood trees such as Douglas firs and southern pines, which wrap around one another. Shorter fibers found in hardwood plants like gum, maple, and oak provide softer paper. Typically, toilet paper is made up of roughly 70% hardwood and 30% softwood. Water, chemicals that break down the trees into usable fiber, and bleaches are other elements utilized in the manufacturing process. To whiten paper made from recycled materials, companies employ peroxide, oxygen, ozone, or sodium hydroxide. On the other hand, chlorine-based bleaches or chlorine dioxide are frequently used by virgin paper manufacturers and have been found to pose a risk to the environment. Pulpwood and recycled paper are the 2 primary raw materials utilized in the manufacture of toilet paper. Wood pulp, one kind of softwood that comes from trees like fir, pine and spruce is called pulpwood. The most popular raw material used in the manufacturing of toilet paper is pulpwood. After the wood is prepared into wood chips, the wood fibers are boiled using chemicals to create a pulp. After refinement, this pulp is used to make toilet paper. Recycled. Another raw material utilized in the manufacturing of toilet paper is recycled paper. It is composed of post-consumer garbage, including office paper, periodicals, and outdated newspapers. The paper is gathered, sorted, and cleaned to get rid of impurities like staples and ink. To make fresh toilet paper, the cleaned paper is combined with water to form a slurry. In terms of cost, quality, and impact on the environment, both kinds of raw materials offer benefits and drawbacks. The selection of raw materials is contingent upon several criteria such as cost, availability, and manufacturer preference. When trees arrive at the mill, they undergo a procedure called debarking, which involves removing the outermost bark while preserving as much of the tree's wood as possible. The debarked logs are roughly 1 inch by 1/4 inch in uniform size after being chipped. Pulp, the wood, is made easier by these little pieces. The roughly 50-ton batch of wood chips is combined with 10,000 gallons of cooking chemicals, and the resulting slurry is fed into a digester, a pressure cooker that is 60 feet, 18.3 meters tall. Wood chips contain roughly 50% moisture, and most of it evaporates during the cooking process, which might take up to 3 hours. After reduction, the combination contains roughly 25 tons of cellulose fibers, lignin, and other materials that hold the wood fibers together. With each cooked batch, roughly 15 tons of pulp, usable fiber, are produced. The majority of the lignin and cooking chemicals are eliminated from the pulp by passing it through a multi-stage washing system. After being removed from the pulp, which moves on to the next step of production, is this liquid known as black liquor. The bleach factory receives the cleaned pulp and uses a multi-step chemical procedure to extract the fiber's color. Paper will eventually turn yellow due to residual lignin, the glue that holds fibers together. To turn paper white again, it must be bleached. To create paper stock, which is 99.5% water and 0.5% fiber, the pulp is combined with water once again. Spraying the paper material between movable mesh screens lets a lot of water escape. At a rate of up to 6,500 feet, 1981 meters per minute, this creates a matted fiber sheet that is 18 feet, 5.5 meters broad. After that, the paper is sent to a massive heated cylinder known as a Yankee dryer, which presses and dries it until it has a final moisture content of roughly 5%. The paper is then crept, which gives it a slightly wrinkled appearance and makes it extremely soft. Using a metal blade, the paper is scraped from the Yankee dryer during the creeping process. This gives the sheets considerable flexibility, but it also reduces their strength and thickness, making them almost brittle when wet. The paper is subsequently wound on giant reels, which have a maximum weight of 5 tons at a rate exceeding 1 mile per minute. The paper is then fed into conversion machines, which make a paper log by unwinding, slitting, and rewinding it onto long, thin cardboard tubes. After that, the paper logs are sliced into rolls and packaged. Recycled paper is used to make toilet tissue. Both coloured and white stock are used, and staples and pins are removed. The paper is placed in a large vessel known as a pulper, which mixes it with hot water and soaps to create a liquid slurry. To get rid of paper coatings and inks, the recycled pulp is subsequently put through several screens and rinses. With the use of oxygen-based agents like peroxide, the pulp is disinfected and somewhat whitened. It then produces a less white, less expensive paper by going through stages 7 through 10, similar to virgin paper goods. To guarantee the quality of the paper they produce, paper businesses frequently keep up their tree stands. Additionally, the chemicals employed in the pulping process are closely inspected and analyzed. Testing gauges, equipment and procedures also ensure that slurries are cooked at the proper temperatures. A completed sheet of paper can be examined for stretch, opacity, moisture content, smoothness and color, among other characteristics. The bark that is taken from tree trunks is the first waste product created during the paper-making process. It burns easily and is used to power paper mills. Furthermore, the fluid that is extracted from the pulp after it has been cooked, known as black liquor, is further evaporated to produce a thick, flammable liquid that is also utilized to run the mill. Tall oil, a byproduct of this reduction process, finds widespread application in various home items. Roughly 95% of the chemicals used in cooking are collected and repurposed. However, other industry-related issues are more difficult to resolve. Two contemporary issues have arisen from the manufacture of virgin toilet paper, the cutting down of trees, and the usage of chlorine dioxide to bleach the paper. Although the production of virgin paper requires the loss of trees, paper corporations sustain extensive forests to satisfy their needs, as trees are a readily renewable resource. Activists have, however, suggested that toilet paper be produced exclusively from recycled materials, and that customers shun